What's up, guys? It's currently December 30th. We are one day away from the quarterfinals of the college football playoffs, starting off with Miami versus Ohio State. This should be a competitive game. I think that the spread is actually favoring Miami at 9.5 of Ohio State, but today I just want to go over pretty much how it's going to look and how I think the game will end up. So, first off, I want to start off with Miami. Miami is obviously known to be very good against the run this year. The defense has been phenomenal, just complete 180 from last year. They completely neutralized Marcel Reed. They took KC Conception out of the game. Craver obviously got his, but he wasn't dominant at all. Obviously, they held them to 3 points. It was just a flat out dominant showing by a very good Miami defense this year. And I think if they can stop Bo Jackson in this run game, I think that they will definitely stay competitive. To tie into that, the Miami defense is 11th in third down conversion rate. So they're obviously really good at getting off the field on third down, forcing punts. But however, Ohio State's offense is actually second. So that's a pretty good on good. So I'm interested to see how that is because I don't know. It's obviously Julian Sands a potent quarterback. He can make accuracy pass throws like Ohio State's weapons. I think the matchup of Miami's defense versus Ohio State's offense is definitely better than vice versa. I'm interested to see how Miami's game plan is to stop Julian Sand because obviously we saw Sand get pretty much neutralized by Indiana's defense in that Big Ten championship game. So I'm interested to see how it is. I think that if Carson Beck, yeah, I think that if he can play well in this game, I think if he shows how he was at Georgia early last year when he was thought to be a first round pick and then everything seemingly fell off. But I think if he can sit there and make tough throws, I think that depending on the two biggest players in this game are, in my opinion, are Carson Beck and Mark Fletcher. Because if Mark Fletcher can run the ball hard just like he did against Texas A&M, I mean, he looked like a superstar against A&M. I mean, he looked absolutely unstoppable. If he can run that hard against probably the best defense in the country, then it will open up Carson Beck to make throws to the second levels, to CJ Daniels, and if they can get Malachi Tony, obviously in the slew of ways that they get him moving in games, like with the jet sweeps and the way they just give him the ball. Obviously, he's a really good punt returner, so if he can take advantage of hidden yards, like that would be huge for them. And I'm really excited to see how Miami attacks Ohio State's defense because obviously Ohio State's defense has been unbelievable. Like, I mean, I know they lost to Indiana. They haven't played a tough schedule. They lost to Indiana, but that was not the defense's fault. The offense just completely, really, they just didn't get off the bus. Like, but they only gave up 13 points. Like Ohio State's defense gave up 13 points, and again they lost. I think 90% of games that you play and you have 13 points, you're expecting to win, especially for Ohio State, who has a lot of weapons. For Ohio State, I would just have a question of, do I think Sand can effectively pick apart this defense? Like, this is why I'm hesitant on the 9.5 spread in Ohio State's way. Is I don't know if a young quarterback. I have a gut feeling, and I think that he's going to get flustered against Miami's defense. They have really good DBs like Xavier Lucas, and obviously their pass rush with Ruben Bain and I'm forgetting his name now, but the older guy. But I'm excited to see how it is. And that matchup with the Ohio State offensive line, because Sands obviously not the most. He's obviously not the most mobile quarterback. He obviously is super accurate and he makes throws to the second levels a lot with to Carnell Tate especially, Max Clare a little bit. Obviously Max Clare hasn't been used as much as we thought, but really I think the key to this is if they can get Bo Jackson going early, like it will open up Sand and it will open up the offense because if they're stopping the run, I'm hesitant to see how Sand is able to function in a one dimensional offense because he hasn't had to do that all year. Like except for that Indiana game, in the Indiana game he did not look great. Like he did not play to the standard that he had been playing at the whole year. So that's interesting to me. I think sheer like Ohio State, I think they definitely obviously have the much better weapons. Like Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, Max Clare, that's elite. Like I don't think there are very few teams in the country that have a better trio than that. Not even including Brandon Innes, who's also been pretty decent this year. Bo Jackson has come on this year. Like he looks like a star. He looks like a future star. So I think those are definitely better than Malachi Tony, CJ Daniels, etc. And I think they're clearly the better team, but I'm interested to see how the Ohio State offense plays against the defense, against Miami defense, because I think that will completely decide the game. I think that the Miami defense or the Miami offense will. I personally don't think they will be able to move the ball very well on Ohio State's defense, but because they haven't really got Arval Reese, Sonny Styles, Caden McDonald. Those are some really really good players. And I think that in my opinion this game's gonna end up 20-13, somewhere in that touchdown range, because ultimately I'm more worried about Ohio State's ability to move the ball consistently against Miami's defense, even though I already think it's a foregone conclusion that Miami's offense will not be able to move the ball very well against Ohio State's defense. But that's just because Ohio State's defense has been the best in the country, and it hasn't really been close. Like no team has been as dominant as that defense that Matt Patricia has. And well, obviously I forgot to name Caleb Downs, but there's just so many playmakers on the defense compared to Miami, and I think they're just completely overpower them with the weapons. And well, that's pretty much it. So my final prediction will be Ohio State. I think they win 20-14 or 20-14 or 13. I think it's around the 6.7 point win. I think Miami will keep it competitive, but ultimately, I think that one of the playmakers from Ohio State breaks the game open and he gets the go-ahead touchdown, and I think that Ohio State wins it, probably stopping Miami on a game-winning drive. But that's my opinion, and comment yours down below. I love to listen to your guys's predictions. So comment down below and like and subscribe.